Okay, Freilichen Purim. It's coming up now. In a few days is Purim, and since Moshiach is going to come before Purim, so we need to know what to do on Purim when Moshiach comes. So, erstens, there's papers over here that has a few of the Ma'amar Kemis. So if you see in number 1 over here, the pasuk Mikra Malay, it says in Megillah that V'mei Purim ha'ela la'yavrim teicha Yehudim v'zichrim la'yasif mizayram. The days of Purim, the Yom Tov of Purim is always going to be a Yom Tov. Even when Mashiach comes, it's never going to go away. And the Rambam is number 2 over here. The Rambam Paskins like this also. You look at the end of the halacha that it says Yimei Purim lo yibatu, and he brings this pasuk that Purim is never going to be batal. Now Chassidus explains that what does it mean that all the Meidim will be batal but Purim won't be batal? That means that all the Yom Tov when Mashiach comes, every day will be so special that a regular Yom Tov won't be more special than a regular day. But Purim, because it's connected with Messiah Stavish of the Yidin, and the Etzem and the Neshama will be special even the Gabi a regular day when Mashiach, in the times of Mashiach. So obviously all the Yom Tov will still exist, but we're still going to have the Yom Tov of Purim will still be something even more special. And even in the second kufa, we say mitzvahs is going to be b'telis, but we all know that the Rabbi explains not that we won't do mitzvahs anymore, but that the mitzvahs will be in a way that it won't be a mitzvah, that there's someone that's commanding us what to do and we're being commanded to do it, but the mitzvahs, we're going to do the mitzvahs in a way that we're so connected with Hashem will happen to be derech mimela. So, saying the first kufa, saying the second kufa is always going to be the Yom Tov Purim and the mitzvahs. You have to know how to do the mitzvahs and some things that are going to be different when Mashiach comes. So starting with Tainus Esther. We know that when Mashiach comes, all the fast days are going to go away. And the question comes when you get Tainus Esther. Because the pasuk which says that Tainus are going to go away, it refers to the 4 fast days which have to do with the Churban. Tzemidalya, Tishbav, Shavas B'Tamas, Tishbav, Tzemidalia, and the Shari B'Tevis. Because they have to do with the Churban. When Mashiach comes, they're going to be batal. Tainus Esther, on the other hand, doesn't have to do with the Churban. Tainus Esther is is remembering the Nes of Purim. So there's place to say that Tainus Esther won't be batal because it's not a sad day that now is sad and Mashiach comes have to turn over. But even now it's a happy day, and when Mashiach comes, it will say a happy day, but it will still be a fast like now. And if you look in the Sichos of the Rebbe, there are different places, for different things. About a few of them over here. In number 3 is from Tashim Mem Vav. It speaks about how the turning over to Yom Yotzin of the Tainus Esther is not connected. The Tainus Esther is higher than the difference between Golus and Geula, because it's always the Yom Yotzin is always it. So in number 4, from the Kodei Sichos, it speaks about that even the Zichron of the Tzoros of Purim won't go away. The number 5 is from Sichon Tavshin and Aleph. Over there, the other way, the Rebbe says that all the Tzoros are going to go away, including especially Tainus Esther, that has to do with Purim. Number 6 over here is also speaking about over there it's Madge says called Tzoros Eila, the ones that are connected with the Churban and Golus. See different places are matching different things. Also number 7 also is the Kesayas of the Sichos. In Sefer Sichos are different. So I'm not sure if it's part of the Mogas Sichos, but but sometimes it says Tainus Esther Yehapich the Simcha like a regular fast day, and Tashim Mem Ches like that. But the rest of the times the other Tainus Esther Sichos don't say Yehapich the Simcha on them. I saw ha'ayah from Tzras, from Tavshin Ein Hey, that someone wrote that it could be that to make a tivach between these two things, that Tainus Esther, since already now it's a Yom Yotzin, so when Mashiach comes, it's not that it's going to turn over to a Yom Yotzin, because already now it's a Yom Yotzin. Alamai, now it's still felt a little bit tzar because we're still going, so we don't see clearly how it is, but when Mashiach comes, it'll go away. In Mashiach Malacha, he says it's going to Tainus Esther will fast, Hashogim speaks out also different ayis, different people say different ways. So when Mashiach comes, I guess we'll find out. For sure, this year we're not going to fast because it's going to be part of the 7 days the Sheres Mishnah and part of the Mashiach coming and of the Chalukas Beis Hamikdash, just like it was by Yom Kippur when they built the second Beis Hamikdash. Fine, going on to Maxis a shekel. Maxis a shekel, we now give half a shekel. There are opinions which say that when Mashiach comes, we're going to give a full shekel as a donation instead of a maxis a shekel. There are a few reasons given. One of the reasons is that now the reason we give half a shekel is to bring out the Indian of Achdus, to show how we're only half together with another. We have to connect another Yid when Mashiach comes, and there's not going to be any Hananish Hashem. We'll see clearly this Indian how we're all the Achdus with the other Yid and with Hashem, so we won't need this to bring out this to be madgish this maxis a shekel instead of all being a full shekel. There are also other opinions which say that no, we're still going to give half a shekel. That's but there are those that say we're going to give a full shekel. Okay, going on to Parsha Zocher. Parsha Zocher, the Minchas Chinuch in the mitzvah of remembering a madlik. This is number 10 in the Marim Kemis paper. He says that it could be that even when Mashiach comes and the madlik will be totally destroyed, there's still always going to be a mitzvah to remember them. Now, first of all, the mitzvah of destroying the Malik is going to be Deyaisa, according to many opinions when Mashiach comes. Because then we can have the possibility to actually destroy Malik. But after we destroy them, which will be right away when Mashiach comes, so the Minchas Chinuch says that even later, after Malik is destroyed, we might still have the mitzvah of remembering it. And number 11, the Rebbe brings this Minchas Chinuch. The Rebbe says, I don't know why he's writing V'derech Efsher, based on what the Rambam writes about killing the mitzvah of killing the 7 nations. But the Rambam writes that the mitzvah of killing the 7 nations is a mitzvah that's applies to all times. After we kill the Zayin Umayis, they don't exist to kill them, but that's just a technical difficulty. We still have the mitzvah. So that's the same thing applies to Zechiyas Malik, that we're still going to have that mitzvah, even though there won't be a Malik, but we're going to have the Indian of remembering a Malik. And there's a place I don't remember in the Malkah, I saw a place that ever says that's going to be al derech Indian of binking off the Golus Tag. That to remember the Indian of a Malik, and that's also what it represents in Skafi, that we're going to remember it's Indian even though it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, going on to Purim itself. So on Purim we have 4 mitzvahs. Start with the mitzvah of Mikra Megillah. So if you look back in number 2, the Rambam writes that all the Sifri and Nevi'im and all the Ksuvim are going to be bottled in Yemei Mashiach, besides for Megillas Esther. The Esther and Esther like the Chamisha Chumshei Torah. And the Rebbe explains in the Sikha, in Chelek Chavav, and so was Moga again, and it's printed in Chelek Mem, that the reason why Megillas Esther is going to be even the Asur Naveh is because the whole Geder, the whole Yichos about the reason why it was written down to begin, how it was allowed to be written down to begin with, the Chachamim tained to Esther, that Zechiyas Malik is only able to be written down 3 times in Torah, and then they found the Pasuk, the Kseiv Zeis is Kain Basefer, the whole Limud, so they finally wrote the Megillah. And that brings out how the word of Basefer, it's written down in Megillah because it says Basefer. And the whole Geder being written down in the Megillah is that it's Basefer that it's written down. As opposed to the Sifri and Nevi'im, which are written there just as a zikaron, as a remembrance. The Nevi'im are written down, so we should remember what's written in them. When Mashiach comes, then we won't need them because we'll remember it without it. But the Megillas Esther, the point is that it should be written, and therefore the Megillas Esther will stay even when Mashiach comes. Huh? Yeah, I wasn't here last week, but okay. The next, now we have a mitzvah Matanis Lavyenim. Matanis Lavyenim, the obvious question that Rebbe asks in the Sikha, number 8, Rebbe asks, how are you going to do Matanis Lavyenim when Mashiach comes? The Pasuk tells us, Ki lo yeh b'cha evyin, there's not going to be any poor people. Now, if it was the mitzvah of tzedakah, Meila, you could give tzedakah even to rich people, you could give them food, you could do whatever, the tzedakah could be even for, could be the chesadim, could be even for Ashirim. But Matanis Lavyenim has to be to evyin, and the Pasuk says, lo yeh b'cha evyin. So what's going to be? The Rebbe asks the question and it says in Tzarech Iyun. So in Yemei Mashiach Balacha, he brings the whole thing, he tries to answer that maybe we're going to give to Goyim, but he says it can't give to Goyim. He says that the entire takana was only lechatchila, that the whole takana of Matanos Avyenim is only for a time when there are Yiddish Avyenim. If there's no Yiddish Avyenim, then there's no mitzvah. Then Hershel Greenberg in the Sefer, he says we won't give the to give to Goyim. There's also different opinions about that. In the Keret Tza'aris, the Apostle Law, from Tashin Ein Ches, there's a other song that Baruch wrote about a different. Wasn't me. The Baruch wrote about the Matnis Aniyim Lasad Lavi, Masisheni and things like that. So he wrote a few answers. First of all, the first kufa there's going to be a niyim, but even in the second kufa, it says there's a halacha that if someone is traveling and he's not in where he is, so he's considered a poor man, even though he owns money. But if he's not at his home, he doesn't have his money with him, he's considered poor. You're able to give him matnis aniyim. And also, a person is able to trade is able to give as matana all the chosim to someone else, or maybe he's going to be poor. So you say maybe we could apply that to Matanos Avyenim also. Okay, the other the other two mitzvahs of Purim, Mishteich Manis and Mishpeh, even though Mashiach comes, but we know the Rebbe explains about the soda of the V'yosin Shayvar Yanim Shumar, that although we won't need to eat, the guf won't need food in order to exist, but it's not going to be impossible to eat, we'll be able to eat, and about the soda of Shayvar, the Rebbe explains that since there's going to be Yuchzis Kemailis of eating this food, so that's why we're going to eat it, even though we won't need to eat. And so the same thing with the Mishnah, there's a mitzvah to eat, we'll be able to eat. And Mishnah Manis will be able to send. The Mishnah Manis really don't even need to eat. The Mishnah has to send it. It has to be edible, but you don't need to actually eat it. And also Chlolos, the Rabbi Rain's book, that he brings that the Purim is going to be, there are things that say that Asla Purim is going to be like a full Yom Tov, is going to be Asr B'Melacha. It's from the Chassam Sefer. It's also connected to the Indian, if Matanos Avyenim is only when there's a V'yeni Yisrael, it's even when there's, or it's for always, it's connected. It says that the Chassam Sefer writes that instead of, the Mordechai wanted to make Asr B'Melacha, instead he said there's always going to be, because they're going to go back to Yisrael, it's not going to be a V'yenim, but instead they made Matanos Avyenim, and so it's kind of dependent on each other, according to the Chassam Sefer. The main thing is the Moshiach is going to come. He's going to tell us exactly what to do and how to do it. And we have Purim this year, and Tezvav Pashtus, we're all going to be in Yerushalayim, as the coming of Mashiach, and they're taking us out of Goldos now. Mashiach